Hey, everybody, before we get into the podcast, I just want to let you know about our sponsors. It's a fun film called Sir John A. and the Curse of the Anti-Quenched. You can get it right now on Vimeo on demand for only $2.99, and it's also available on Amazon Prime, just streaming if you have Prime. So you can check out curseoftheantiquenched.com for more information. Also, if you want to support the podcast, head over to our website, raidersofthelostcommentary.com. Click on the Amazon banner. It'll take you to Amazon. If you buy something on Amazon the next little bit after that, it'll kick us a little something, and it doesn't cost you anything while you do it. Kicks us a little money and helps support the podcast.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
Welcome to the Raiders of the Lost Commentary podcast.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
The unofficial commentary for your favorite
Get to the chopper!
and not so favorite films.
The famous comedian Alan Braunschweiger.
Starring your hosts Adam and Matt.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Start your movie in 3, 2, 1.
All right, we're back with another commentary. Seeing as how is the name of the podcast, Raiders of the Lost Commentary, seems fitting. We've been doing mainly a lot of reviews and indie filmmakers sort of chats, so it's nice to get back to doing, our normal thing. Matt, back on the podcast again. We're watching Dr. No this week. Matt, were you a big fan of the Bond movies? I know we covered one on the podcast before.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. I never really watched the old ones until more recently. I say more recently, but I guess late teens. After watching GoldenEye and stuff. So of course, I grew up on the Brendan Fraser. Jesus.
Brendan Fraser as Bond would be...
I think I made the same mistake last time, too. I don't know why I want to say Brendan every single time. No, but I grew up on the GoldenEye, golden age of Bond.
Pierce Brosnan.
I don't know why I'm blanking on the name, because I have the B in my head, but I'm always thinking it's his first name for some reason.
That's dyslexia.
Yeah, maybe.
Man, yeah, you know what? Brosnan was my first Bond as well. I actually accidentally rented, which one was it? Tomorrow Never Dies, thinking it was GoldenEye. And I was
Not as good.
Yeah, I was like I still liked it, but I was like, any minute now, I'm thinking, any minute now they're heading to that other bunker, that you see at the cradle thing, the big satellite. I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna fit in, but they're gonna head there any second now. And then
So this is prior, of course. This one and Russia with Love. My favorite is from Russia with Love for in terms of the Connery era.
Yeah. Maurice Binder.
This one and Russia are some of the more grounded ones of the old ones.
I see what you're saying.
They're not as, gadgety and cliche-y as we see them later on, cheesiness to it. I mean, then again, you still have the three blind men when it opens up.
Right. There's always a gimmick with the Bonds no matter what, but yeah, the Maurice Binder, the titles he did at the time and still now, they're still pretty awesome. A lot of those Bond intro titles, when I was a kid, I never gave a fuck about them. I used to fast forward the VHS as fast as it could go just to get through and just to watch them. I didn't care at all. It was all lost on me.
Yeah, you just fast forward to it, across, absolutely. That's the other thing too, right? This one doesn't have the original, its original theme song or opening song that all the other ones. I think also from Russia, I forget if From Russia with Love also has that song, the opening,
it has the
song of the Bond, the famous Bond song intro, right? They each have one. I forget if Russia has one too. They might have started it, but of course this one doesn't have it, right? It just has the original Bond theme.
Yeah, no, I do remember From Russia with Love has a pretty. I forget who'd sing. It might be Shirley Bassey again, that does
I
it.
forget who, but like a lot of people say like Golden, not the man with the golden gun. What am I thinking of? Not
Goldfinger.
Goldman, Goldfinger. They say a lot of people say Goldfinger is the one that really brought the Bond genre to like where it eventually kept going, right? Like I think Russia with Love has the right blend, because I think they had they might have had, like you said, I think you said they had the song in there, but there was some small that's not the original Moneypenny. Is that Moneypenny?
No, this chick gets shot, doesn't she?
Oh, that's right, dude. I was gonna say it's been a while, but it actually hasn't been that long.
I've seen this so many
Listen,
times.
all the women have that hair. Okay, I have that hair right now. Okay, that's my COVID hair.
It looks good on you. I've been getting desperate. I'm trying to devise ways to cut my own hair, to like shave the back of my neck, you know?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
And my newest plan that I'm going to try, oh no, those guys are in the window. Oh, that jump cut is so bad.
3 blind mice.
These guys aren't blind at all. She got shot right in the boob. So obviously these guys are spies of some kind, sophisticated spies. I wonder if like in the 60s this was like super groundbreaking, like, oh shit, look all this spy stuff and whatever. Because like now it is kind of hokey, you know?
I don't know if it was groundbreaking. I mean, I don't know. This is what, 61? So
62 actually.
I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't born then, and I have no idea. I can't like name a spy movie from the era. I'm sure there was.
Yeah, I honestly don't know either. Like, I've seen some like Cold War like sort of movies that were kind of fun, but like to me like the Connery ones are pretty cool, but like I don't know, like they have their own charm, and then like the Roger Moore had their own thing too of like really leaning into the campiness of it,
and less sexist in sort of way. There's
You
one
think
thing
so?
about the Connery era. The Connery era are pretty are pretty sexist.
I mean, I never thought
Men
of
are
like the
talking.
Bond.
Men talk.
Yeah, I never thought of the Bond movies as progressive in any way, but
No, definitely not.
Yeah, but you know what's kind of interesting though? Terrence Young, he was like openly gay, wasn't he?
Who?
Terrence Young, the director.
Was he?
Pretty sure. I remember Connery talking about a lot about that and thinking it was funny that Terrence Young, who's like openly gay, made like these Bond movies, which are like, you know,
Yeah,
guys.
because he made a few.
Yeah, he made a ton of the Connery ones.
All I know is my favorite Bond director made both GoldenEye and Casino Royale. Martin Shoot.
She this Bond Maul, if you will. She I think she's one of the only ones that makes like a reappearance later in another film.
Who? Her?
Yeah, in The Red.
Really?
Pretty sure she comes back. What
remember.
movie? I forget. There is a movie I think she does come back in.
Yes, this is Bond's favorite movie. I've actually played this game. We played it like digitally because we were all like curious to like we're like, okay, well, like because me and my buddy watched the Bond movies like recently, right? So we're like, let's just try it. Like, how do you play
Baccarat?
oh my god, is it craps?
Baccarat.
Baccarat, that's it, yeah. But it's like a special kind of Baccarat that he plays in all of the movies. It's weird. You're like, you're all playing together, and then you're not, and like you're just trying to beat, like everyone's trying to beat, but then like it's super confusing. And we were like 4, and we're like, no, you can't play this with 4 people. You need like a lot of people. But it's not fun if you're not betting. Kind of like playing poker without any like stakes in it, right? Like, what's the point?
But
No. It's just
is it?
playing
you
them
gotta
like,
get- is this the one you got to get to
It's weird.
30? You got to get to 32, or is it the one you got to stay under 9?
I think it's the one you have to stay under 9.
Okay,
But like
yeah.
everybody has to stay under line 9,
She's
right? Like
in-
one person plays for the entire table.
Oh,
Something like that. It's weird.
must be like a more
I
of
can
a British
understand
thing.
why they moved it to Texas Hold'em for Casino Royale.
I think they just did Hold'em because that was so big at the time.
Well, I mean, I think it's both, right? It's big at the time, meaning people get it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. So she's
people
in.
understand it.
She's in this, and she's
she's
in
another one.
She's in From Russia with Love.
Really? I
Yeah.
don't remember.
Yeah, I think.
Even though it's my favorite Connery movie, I don't remember all the Connery movies.
He pretty early on was wearing a wig too, wasn't he?
I'm pretty sure you said he's always been wearing a wig.
I think. Is it this?
I
But
think you said that before.
yeah, like
He's is he whatchamacallit, like the guy from Titanic there, oh my
Billy
god.
Zane?
I am like, what?
Billy Zane.
Billy Zane. Why am I am blanking hard on names today?
You better listen to your friend Billy Zane. He's a pretty cool guy.
But yeah, Billy Zane with the wig, right?
So you know what's kind
Just
of I've
bald
listened
men
to
with wigs.
I've listened to
Looks good, though.
the commentary for this movie, and so Moneypenny, she talks about like her character and how her and Connery came up with this like backstory that they were like involved before the film, and that they like decided not to keep dating because didn't want to work mix work and whatever, and so like their sort of flirtatious thing is like, oh, maybe someday when this is all over we'll get together. And it's kind of interesting. I don't know if like this was done on purpose, but some of the more modern Bonds, like the Daniel Craig things, like Moneypenny is more involved, and there is a sort of similar thing like of that sort of storyline. So I always found that kind of interesting when that happened in the new Daniel Craig films. I was like, oh, that is kind of neat. I always like
The
this
best
guy
M.
as I always liked him as M. I did like Judi
Yeah.
Dench. I thought she was pretty cool, and I do like Ralph Fiennes now as M. But like this guy was always he's just so
Bernard
cold.
Lee. Yeah.
Bernard Lee or whatever his name.
I think it's Bernard Lee.
Bernard
the actor's
Lee.
name. But he always trusts Bond, which I always like. You don't
Yeah.
see that very often in like movies where like the top is like doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like they're always like, no, I don't trust you. Like you need to do this or do that. Like Judith Dench M was more like that. Like she trusted him, but not at the same time. Like she
Yeah.
didn't always have his back all the time. Like
Yeah.
this M always did. Like doesn't matter. As soon as Bond said, no, this is this. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. He was cold with him, and he wasn't like his bud. But yeah, he was like, I don't know. Yeah, he did have his like, he knew who he was. He knew who Bond was and what Bond was capable of.
But like always, from what I remember correct, because I remember going like rants after watching each movie, talking to my buddy about it. Like, oh my god, this, because it'd been years since I'd watched it. But he was always trusting Bond no matter what. Doesn't matter what Bond said. Like if Bond said that, okay, absolutely, yep, let's do it. Let's go with Bond's plan. Like, yeah, let's do that. Which you don't see that very often. There's always that conflict they create between like the boss and the
always like it, but that's like
the only gadget.
yeah, I know. So he's got the Beretta, and then he gets his
which then
famous
turns into the PPK.
the famous
But-
gun he uses for the rest of the Bond
What's funny
franchise.
is he was still using the PPK in GoldenEye, and like if you think about it, that gun is so old.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know much about guns. But
Well, think of it, like he was using the exact same gun, and the gun was like 40 years old, 50 years old.
yeah,
Something ridiculous like that. Like it's like I know it's iconic because it was like it's the gun, but modernize it a little bit. I mean, they did eventually, but it just for a while
Yeah.
he was holding on to a very old gun.
dude, I've got an airsoft gun that looks like the Bond gun. I used it in a movie.
I think I've seen it. Your little one.
Yeah, the airsoft guns are the best for gun props because they're made of metal. They look like a real gun, but it's just a toy. Well, I mean, you could hurt somebody with it, but you're not gonna kill them.
Well, I mean, maybe with a little elbow grease, you might.
If you really try.
I'm sure if you really want to try to kill someone with a BB gun, I'm sure you can. Or
I
an
don't think you
airsoft.
could. I don't think.
I
you
don't
could.
know, man.
If you clubbed them over the head with it, maybe. I always love the double door too. I'm sure it's just to soundproof the room so nobody can listen, which sort of, if you have windows, sort of defeats the purpose. But you know,
What do you mean the double door? The fact that there's like a door and then a door on the other side?
yeah, there's 2 doors. Anyways, he's always like so well dressed. I wish I looked that good in a suit. You know?
Yeah, all my suits, they don't. I've never had a fitted. Apparently, you need like if you're gonna wear a suit, you need it to have like you need it to be fitted to yourself.
Yeah.
Which I've never had. I've always had those like discount cheap suits from like on sale clearance stuff. So
Right.
I've always looked awkward in a suit. It like jacket's too tight. I sit down, like buttons are falling off. Like pants. I mean, I don't understand how you can do anything in a suit because pants are so damn tight around the package area.
Well, now they make suits like Under Armour and stuff, and athletic
I want
companies.
slacks. Yeah.
They started
I
making
want a
them.
suit with elastics.
Yeah, well, that's what they make now. And then, oh yeah, so she's in here playing golf in like just t-shirt or in his whatever shirt, you know. This was like when they showed like women back in the day, like sexy. They showed legs. They're just like, look at her legs. She's got them.
Look at them ankles.
I know. And I mean, like, these Bond girls, like, they're super attractive, right? I mean,
sure.
They did it for me. Super expressive.
Like it feels like she's got like a Botox injury. That one eyebrow is like way up. Look at that.
I
It looks
always
weird
look
to me.
like this. It's, I got the first Botox. I got the first plastic surgery.
See, when does this never happens? You get home and like some girl or whoever just is there,
You gotta have
and then like you're like, oh hey, that's not normal. That's the beginning of a porn movie.
you gotta have that big dick energy like Bond has. All of these glasses.
I want to be so handsome and charismatic that girls bring into my house to get with me.
Yeah,
I know.
think if
I
you-
know. I know. I've made it then.
I think if you have a lot of money, that can happen. Like if you're like a famous musician or athlete, that'll happen.
Yeah. Well, that's not gonna happen. So how do I get the discount version of that?
You don't.
You don't.
Um,
no. Paid services is how you do it. All right. This. I'll leave a spare key. Pretend like you broke in.
This is always strange too. Just these scenes where you're like, "Oh no, is he a bad guy? Oh, maybe he'll be a bad guy, or maybe he'll be a good guy." Because in some of the later Bond movies, it's like there are just people who drive him places. And then this guy watching him too, you're like, is he a good guy or bad guy? Oh,
Yeah, the guy with granny glasses.
I know. Those are the.
What's with the sunglasses, man?
That's like I'm in the mob glasses from back in the day.
Well, they look silly.
You think? I think I want some glasses like that. Here's what I want. I want a fitted suit and those glasses. This guy's the whitest guy who lives in Jamaica, eh? You ever been to Jamaica?
No, I've
Me
seen Cool
neither.
Runnings though.
Yeah. Okay. Close enough.
That's as close as it's gonna get.
Oh man, I had a French teacher in high school, and she was married to a guy from Jamaica in one of those kind of like sham weddings, I think. Anyways,
Like a green card wedding?
I don't know if it was that or if she was just delusional that she thought this gorgeous black guy really liked her. You know?
Okay. Oh, you think it was like an online thing and going
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Well, I saw him before, and he's like young, in good shape, and she's like old and not in shape. You know,
The heart wants what the heart wants, Adam.
he wants.
Why are you stopping their love?
I don't know what's going. I don't know. It was like questionable. I was like, Anyways, I thought that was interesting. I was like, wow, Jamaica.
That's the story. I thought there was more to it.
No, that's it. That's just like that's it. This looks like one of the rare times where they're actually
They're
driving.
actually driving, right?
You know? Like they're actually.
So I'm like looking at it, I'm like, that looks real. I'm like, it probably is real.
Yeah.
We're being followed.
We're being followed.
See, I feel like if you were going to give this scene to someone who doesn't remember Bond, they could not tell you which movie this is because this car chases happen so much.
Right.
That and boat scenes. How many freaking boat chases
my
can you
God.
get in a Bond movie?
There's some of the
Like,
best boat
series
chases.
is some of them, but then there's like things like the what do you call it? That freaking flute sound thing there.
Oh, this next shot's my favorite when they stop and they clearly were stopped and then just did the jerk forward. Oh, wait. No, this is a different movie. There's a different movie where they do that.
That's my point. It all blends in.
Yeah. Oh, no. He's got a gun to him.
You call him Dr. Jones.
Yeah. This guy is like so leading on what he wants to do. He's like looking at the glove compartment with his hand out.
What do I do with my hands? What do I do with my eyes?
Yeah.
Like, how obvious is it if he's trying to get to the gun, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just. They always want to reach for a gun. You notice that? They do that even these days. It's the constant, like, having to reach for the gun.
Oh, he tries to go get the gun.
Like, come on, dude. How obvious can you be? The guy has a gun to your back, and you're like, hold on, I'm going to open this thing, stick my hand in there, take the gun out, turn around.
This is what like
Oh,
some of the Bond movies
He's
missed.
cool.
Yeah, like he's so not concerned with this guy that he's taken out his handkerchief to already start cleaning up. And then he's beating the crap out of him.
I mean, he just flipped him a couple times and gave him a one punch.
He gave him the old judo flip. It's funny like how fighting has evolved in movies, you know?
I know, right?
Like that
or
James.
me, it's deaths.
Oh yeah.
I always loved deaths when they get shot in like old westerns, and James Bond does that too. It's the classic clenching, freezing, and then like falling off of something.
I
always
also
love
like
old timey deaths.
GoldenEye was bad for this, and some of like Chris Nolan's movies, but like it's the we can't show blood. So like when people are getting machine gunned and then they're just like and then they fall down with no bullet wounds, you know?
Wait, GoldenEye doesn't have any blood?
Not when people get shot, like no squibs. If you watch like when they're like at the start of the movie, they have the AKs and they're shooting at the Russian soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Huh.
Look at this guy. Look at how high his socks are. What is he scared of?
I didn't even. So we're watching with subtitles. I didn't notice because the subtitles were kind of hiding. So I just went. I thought it was all pants. I thought the subtitles were hiding like the little leg part that he has in between. It is
I want to wear
Jamaica.
shorts. Yeah, I want to wear shorts and a short sleeve, but I don't want to show my calves. It's like, what's it like? I don't know. It's just so funny. This guy looks like he lives in Jamaica. Like he's got a tan. This guy, he's inside all day long. You know?
I know what you're saying. What's your favorite? You said I think you said Thunderball was your favorite, eh?
Of the
Connery?
Connerys. Yeah. There's something about Thunderball. I don't know what it is about it. It's just kind of fun. I think it also has.
That underwater sequence is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like they just show it's like it's an underwater like army attacking another underwater army, and
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know. There's
This
something
would never
about it.
happen.
Well, yeah, well there's that. And I mean, I just thought it was kind of cool like he steals the plane, he lands it in the water and sinks it and then like this whole plan, and then there's like they're holding things hostage.
There's been disputes and copyright and fights and legal disputes and all that pertaining to that story, eh?
Yeah, why don't you run through it to the best of your...
I mean, I think I've probably brought it up before.
Well, bring it up again. This is why we're doing a podcast.
So essentially, there, like, prior to Dr. No, someone wanted to make a James Bond movie, like a script. So a bunch of writers got together, and I forget the name. So let's not worry about the names.
Names are important in this story.
People and Ian Fleming got together and actually wrote a film script for a Bond movie. It was called something else, but it had the very basic things of Thunderball, right? And the script wasn't being sold anywhere. So then Ian Fleming turned around and turned his next novel into, like, turned the script that he worked on into his next novel called Thunderball. Of course, the person who was he was working on the script with wasn't exactly happy with that, right? Because, like, he's like, well, technically I never got credited for... You wrote the book based on the script we wrote, and you never credited me for any of the ideas I was part of. So then there was like this whole dispute thing, and essentially, I guess it was handled at, I forget exactly what happens in terms of like court-wise, but the deal essentially was that this guy couldn't use the story. I think something like 20 years or like 15 years. There was a certain like time frame that he couldn't use it. He couldn't make a movie out of his idea, his story idea, until a certain time frame to give time for the whoever, like United Artists or Aeon, who owns Bond. Whoever owns Bond, right?
It's MGM. MGM?
Well, MGM is the studio, but it's an actual, like, it's a smaller company, and MGM was just using was the one distributing the movie, right?
It's the
I think
Albert
it's United
Broccoli's.
Artists.
It's Albert Broccoli's company, isn't it?
Whichever company owns it, they're just like, okay, like, you give us this, like, we get to make the movie based on the novel Thunderball, and then like 20 years later, it's free for you to do, right? Like, you can touch it again. Like, that was like the deal they did. Probably settle out of court or some crap like that. So that's why Thunderball happens very early on, because if you think like Thunderball happens like later technically in the types of like in the books. Because like the movies are weird in terms of like you only live twice. Technically doesn't even make sense because he already met Blofeld before, but then he meets him again for the first time.
Was that a question?
What? You only live twice? No, because like there's one of the movies, I think it's You Only Live Twice, where he meets Blofeld, and Blofeld doesn't recognize him. Or that's the first time he meets Blofeld, and then the one but one prior to that,
he'd met him.
Yeah, he'd met him. Like, it's a weird like thing where like that's why people thought like, oh well, Bond's played by two different people. Or different people, because like there was the Roger Moore aspect, and then there was like the Connery aspect. Either way, the whole confusion lies literally because they had to do Thunderball first because of the contract that they had signed with this guy. They had to hurry up and finish the production of it so that they could do it first before the other guy could do it. Then they settled out of court saying you can't make anything out of the book until this amount of time.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why there's like a weird timeline as to like Blofeld and Bond and why like one looks like they haven't met and then one looks like they met like and he doesn't recognize him anymore. It's weird. And it doesn't really make sense, but it's because in the book he doesn't know, but then they did the movie after or before. Like it just The film chronologic order doesn't make sense, but it's literally because they just did the books out of order. Anyways, so And that's how we got the movie Never Say Never Again 20 years later in the 80s.
Right.
Is because the rights finally
Expired.
were freed up again, but he could not go any different. Like, he had to stay consistent to adapting the book. He couldn't do anything else because, like, the Bond character was restricted to what was happening on the book, and he only had the rights to the book. So there was like these, every time they needed like changes and stuff, it had to go to the studios and then to the lawyers to make sure it's legally like he's able to do that. But it's like, it was like this small, like, it's like it's an indie indie company made an FU James Bond movie. Which is kind of cool. It's not very good, but it's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's technically 2 Thunderball movies with both Sean Connery. One is an older, doesn't give a crap Connery. I kind of like that aspect of Connery because they do play that he's actually old and like he's not as sharp anymore in the Never Say Never Again. Like, he's slipping all over the place and he's like fumbling and like because he's old and he's not as sharp as he used to be.
These guys get taken really hard. So this guy Quarrel, there's one of the movies.
Yeah, he's in another one.
No, it's like his son or brother or something like that. He's in another
But isn't
one.
it played by the same actor?
I don't think so, but I
No?
could be wrong because I'm pretty sure he dies in this movie.
Look at those glasses.
Yeah, right. You don't like them?
No, they look like women's glasses.
Well, I think you're kind of sexist.
I mean, sure, men can wear women's glasses, but it's not glasses I would think of as intimidating.
I don't know.
Although, you know what he kind of looks like? He looks like, I forget the actor's name, but number 2 from Austin Powers.
Rob Lowe?
Is it Rob Lowe?
Yeah,
Wait,
it's Rob Lowe.
as in... Oh, no. I'm talking about his older counterpart. His, like, present time counterpart.
Oh.
Not his 60s number 2.
Yeah.
I forget his name. I thought that's why when you said Rob, I'm like, no, it's not. He's way older. I forgot it was Rob Lowe. Number 2. That's another thing, Jay. Like, after watching all the James Bond, and I had missed a couple of them. I forgot how incredibly accurate Austin Powers is to replicating certain scenes and like designs and costumes and layers and there's a lot that's super like almost identical to the actual freaking Bond movies.
Yeah. Robert
like the
Wagner.
volcano layer. I think it's from Liver. I think it's from You
Only Live Twice. The one with
You Only Live Twice. The same. The layer looks identical.
Oh yeah.
Like the internal, it looks almost identical.
I
haven't rewatched the Austin Powers lately. I should, just to kind of, I might be able to catch new jokes that I didn't catch before.
that one. Whenever like he becomes the Asian guy, I was like, what is happening?
Ridiculous. And I saw that movie this year.
That's
The
pretty
first
bad.
time.
It's pretty bad.
It's
like,
and it's funny too because he's a pretty tall dude.
oh my
And
god,
you can
yeah.
you can kind of see he's actually kind of crouching
yeah.
to make him look like
Yeah.
he's not so tall.
Yeah.
Also, is she supposed to be Asian? I know there's a couple times like they use like, of course that was just like the at the time, but like they'll use it's clearly Caucasian people, Caucasian actors and women, actors and actresses who are playing other races.
Right.
Not necessarily blackface, but I guess what would be the
I don't know what she's supposed to be. I don't know. Like I don't think she's trying to be anything other than.
I don't think it's in this one. It might be later in this one, but there are the old Bonds have that. I think it's in Doctor. No, it is in Doctor. No, I'm like I think it's in Doctor No. That I realize we are watching Doctor No.
that Dr. No is not.
Well, Doctor No kind of makes sense. He's supposed to be like Japanese and German descent. So maybe kind of iffy.
Every-
I think one of the Bond girls later on in the movie,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
clearly white.
Joseph Wiseman is Dr. No, and he's a white guy.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm pretty sure they slant his eyes a bit too. Man, old movies, they are dated and racist.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I don't know what she uses here. She uses like the bulb, like the.
I don't, and he's so like,
Yeah.
not a single reaction.
This guy's cold. Cold dude. She is dressed in like a geisha dress. I like this line. She says, "You'll be sorry. You'll be sorry."
You rats. You
Like
forgot
she's
the
auditioning
rats.
for the Wizard of Oz. Oh man. But yeah, I don't know. These were fun. I don't know what it is. If it's just like something like because I watched it when I was young and I watched them all on VHS and
There's
they had that like
there's definitely a nostalgia factor to
Yeah.
old movies in general. Like because today we almost watched, because of course we're watching this to commemorate, remember
the death,
the
life and death
life
of Sir Sean
the
Connery.
Sean of Sir John.
Sean.
Sir Thomas Sean Connery.
Is that his middle name?
Sean is his middle name, yeah. I think his first name is Thomas. I can be wrong. I haven't looked at it. I looked at it earlier. I think it's
You're
Thomas
just
Sean
spreading
Connery. Anyways.
misinformation wildly.
Fake news. I mean, you guys did call me the Alex Jones. So
Oh,
I'm just living in my
yeah.
I think it is Thomas Sean.
I typed Sean Connery. Yeah, Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas Sean Connery. Yeah, screw you. It's real.
Thomas. Imagine that was, yeah. I mean, why did we
Thomas
go with
Connery?
Sean?
Tom Connery.
Yeah, I don't know. Tom's kind of cool.
I feel like he probably wanted to go with his more like Irish or no Scottish roots, maybe a
Yeah, I
more
guess.
Seanish kind of
Scene?
a Seanish brogue, you know.
Yeah. I read something on the IMDb that some of the props and everything was made to look just slightly smaller to make Connery look bigger.
Really?
Yeah. So I thought it was kind of interesting.
That's kind of weird. just an inch shorter.
In college.
I mean, is that why he holds the PPK so the gun just looks extremely? No, actually, that's from the books, but
What is it?
that's funny.
Have you read the
I was
books?
just thinking, no, I've never read the books.
Neither have I.
I've seen the Ian Fleming miniseries. That's about as close as I'll get, I guess.
What's that?
It was like I saw it on Netflix, but it was like a miniseries, like just a few episodes about like Ian Fleming's life
Oh, yeah.
and obviously there's dramatization, right, to kind of like connect, him and James Bond being very, but I mean he was still a spy.
Who, Fleming?
Like, he still did a lot of the stuff. Maybe not all the stuff that Bond did, but like he was in that world in a way.
Fleming? I thought Fleming based Bond on somebody he
Based Bond on like one of his like COs.
Yeah, like from
he
World
based
War
it on
One.
a few people, including like obviously his experiences was what I'm saying, right? Like,
Yeah.
because I mean he technically was a spy in World War II, so or so the history books say.
Yeah. Which, like, there's not a lot of spies that, like, do their tell all, you know what I mean? Or if they do, it's like they're told, like, you're told after the fact, like, no, none of that is true by other spy agencies, so you know it's for sure true.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think you're right. Like, I'm trying to think of like true spy things, and I think I remember like looking into some of those, and it's always like, no, it turns out it's like mostly bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like the guy that worked
But then
for
again,
the-
maybe that's like plausible. They're just trying to like not deframe. Not, what am I trying to say? Discredit the
Right.
person, maybe, right? Like, who knows how the government works? I'm under the belief that is the government up to something? Probably. Are we? Is the public ever to know everything that goes on with the government? No.
Yeah.
One, they don't have to reveal to the public, but also, I mean, I'm sure things are hidden everywhere, in every place, in every workplace. The government would. Why would the government be any different?
True. I will say, like, the Bond movies did a good job of finding just cool places. You know what I mean? Like that. Like Bond was the first to sort of do things like that. Like a lot of locations, like at least the exteriors or pieces of them were like real things, and they also like traveled the world a lot, which
They
was sort
did.
of like not like, you know, done a lot in films. Like at least at the time, like in the '60s, everything was just made like on a studio.
I'd
like
still say, yeah, well, there was a lot of studio stuff, but there's a lot of faking. You know, you want to look like you're in China. I'm sure there were China sets or Chinatown options, you know, in LA, or
well, I don't think any of them were
maybe not
filmed in the
UK,
States.
but
Were any Bond movies filmed in the States?
yeah, there's a couple.
Like,
The
well,
one where he goes to Louisiana with the stupid like whoop.
but no, is he in
Remember that
Louisiana
one?
there? I thought he was in somewhere else in this.
Was he?
I don't know, with that sheriff that makes a few
Yeah.
appearances. That guy cracks
hate
me
that
up.
guy.
Why do you hate him?
I hate him. It's just it's he's everything that's wrong with the James Bond at the time. Like it's just too ridiculous.
See, I
Dude, they do the slide whistle. That's the one with the slide whistle. It's so dumb. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I couldn't believe I actually forgot about it, but like I couldn't believe that they actually did that. It's ridiculous.
I love how like
Pick it up.
pick it up, pick it up. I love how
This is the original Saw.
right. Well, just like how elaborate the murder plans are.
But they're not. They're dumb.
What?
Absolutely. This is the classic. When have you ever seen someone die from like a Jesus, he's tall. Look at that.
See, they made stuff just a little smaller.
They probably did. Yeah, you might be right.
I mean, he was a pretty big guy. You know,
He is a big guy.
he was Mr. Olympia at one point. Before people did steroids and knew about vitamins,
With that little up and down look.
she looked
But,
at. She's like, "Oh, he can lift 25-pound dumbbells." That's all you had
I'd
to
break
do to be
into-
Mr. Olympia back then.
I'd break into his apartment and have sex with him.
Yeah. No one knew about
Um,
chlamydia back then. Must have been awesome.
Nobody knew about it.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Oh no, his hair, his sophisticated.
His fake hair fell off.
Yeah, all of his like spy tools, and they're like, what if somebody breaks into my room?
He didn't have a spy tool. All he had was the gun.
And his little spray on the thing, you know. Oh, I'm gonna try this booze. That's the other thing.
But that's like,
He drinks.
is this the? I don't think he does it in this one. I think he does it in
What a waste
in
of
Russia with
booze.
Love. It's the one where he's literally waiting. And I forget if it's in this one.
He waits for somebody to come into the room.
Yeah.
He plays cards. That's
Where he
Gold.
plays card. Is that Russia?
No, I think that's Goldfinger.
Is it? I love that so much.
That he just
Because-
spends because he puts the
Yeah, you
pillows like it's him.
Because it's so realistic all the time. Like people are just showing up, and you never think of like, oh yeah, they're just waiting, right? Like, but they actually show him like what he actually does when he's waiting. He's just playing cards. Like, what do you do when you're waiting for someone?
It's the equivalent of playing like solitaire on your phone. So apparently Connery is super scared of spiders, and to do the shot, certain shots, like there
Are
was a
they
stunt
are they like stunt arms?
stunt arms, and then when you see him, there's like a sheet of glass in between him and the
Okay.
thing.
Oh,
See how it's
really?
climbing on a piece of glass there? It's not actually
Yeah,
on him
it's not actually on him. Look at that.
because he was deathly afraid, and then that's
It-
somebody
it's
else's arm.
The glass reminds me of like what they do in
Indiana Jones.
Raiders.
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's the stunt guy's arm, and I guess the stunt guy said it was like the most dangerous stunt he's ever done, which is like what
Is it actually an actually poisonous
tarantula.
spider?
Yeah, which
But
maybe they just
they've done tarantula. I've held a tarantula. Like I'm pretty sure you can just extract the venom from them. Can you not?
maybe not in the 60s. So see how you can kind of see it there.
Yeah, I kind of saw it now. Now that you say it, I love the music. Da, da,
Da,
da,
da.
da.
This was the best acting Connery did in any Bond when he smashes that thing. I
It
like that
just
he's
felt
like,
real.
do you ever find a
But
bug
again-
in your bed and and you're like, oh fuck, now I gotta move.
Yeah, it's when you lose it though. If you can find it and kill it, you're fine. It's when you lose it.
I got a
When
hotel.
you're getting ready for bed and you see a spider on the floor, it's about to hit the floor. You're like, no, if that thing hits the floor, it's gone. I've had one where I was staying at my parents' place, and I see this like, yeah, that I'm pretty sure that girl's not Asian.
She's made to look. See,
I'm pretty sure she's made to look Asian, but
is she made to look
she's-
Asian, or is she just cross? Like, is it, like her eyes just kind of?
oh, like the hair and everything. It just
I mean, she's got a bit of an updo. There's nothing about that wrong about that.
feels to me it feels like with the way that did the makeup and it feels like they were trying. If it's anything, it's culture appropriation. I guess that would be the appropriate term these days. If it's not racist,
I mean, let me have a better look at her, because like to me
She
it just
goes
looked like
back.
she was
She's
cross-eyed
she's-
with kind of like
she's
like
part of the
she's a baddie.
yeah.
Yeah, I got a hotel recently, and it had like 2 beds, and then I was like looking at the one bed, and then I saw a bug on it. I'm like, well, can't sleep on that bed. Anyway, so I had to burn down this hotel.
Yeah, like Barton Fink style.
Yeah. I don't know if she's like. I think she's just wearing like eye makeup.
Yeah, I think she is too. I think, but I think they added the eye makeup and then you add the hair. I don't know.
she doesn't look like she's. It doesn't look like they're trying to make her Asian in any way.
To me, I think they are.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe
The internet will answer the question, but
I
that
think-
the hair feels
because like
very.
there's other shots where you see her, and I think she's just horribly cross-eyed. And I think
don't think so.
that's what you're mistaking somebody with a disability for being cultural appropriation.
No, I don't think so.
Oh wait, is being
but-
cross-eyed a disability?
I mean, are they? I feel like being cross-eyed, you can't see clearly. You ever cross your eyes? It's blurry as hell.
Yeah, it's true. I remember we used to have this dean in high school that was like really cross-eyed, and like he was the worst, and he was mean and horrible all the time. But I never knew which eye to look at.
Wait, did he wear glasses or anything, or his eyes were crossed?
Both.
Okay. It'd have to be like when you cross your eyes, you'd have to wear glasses, I guess, to see. I don't know. I don't know how cross eyes work.
Yeah, now it's a real mystery.
No,
What
I
if-
want to know.
what if they
What's
just
it like
have
to be
extra-
cross-eyed?
Well, like, what if they just have extra vision, and it's like a
They
superpower?
can see more.
Yeah. Because if you think
don't
about
know.
if your eyes could turn both to the different side, you definitely see
I've
more.
seen that. It's creepy, man. It's like when people can actually do like that on command. It's weird.
They have like
It's weird, and I
independent-
want to do it.
It freaks me out, but I want to do it.
Freaks me out, but I really want to do that. I really want to try that, but I can't.
Yeah. See,
But
everything
yeah,
looks small.
but again, like I was saying, pertaining to animals assassination. It's a terrible idea.
What?
How many movies or shows
Oh.
have you seen where like they drop a freaking venomous snake, spider, what have you, lizard, into like someone's room or into somewhere, and it actually works to actually kill the target?
Snakes on a plane, man.
Like the hair down like that obviously that's better. So maybe you're right. Just to me, for the first time, I sound like, I don't know.
I mean, look, there
Nice
was
and
a phenomenon after World War II where people became sort of enamored with Japanese culture because they knew nothing about it, and then all of a sudden,
Until
like,
after, yeah. I mean, what wasn't that a big thing? Is in Japan, like actually people like visiting like a lot of U.S.
yeah, like it was a big
activity
thing.
into Japan afterwards.
So like,
I've seen
know, like-
memoirs of a geisha.
Well, like, I mean, like, yeah, and there's like, there's obviously some problematic things there, but like, I don't think it's like
Obviously.
necessarily a bad thing. Oh, here's some rear screen projection. Necessarily a bad thing that you take an interest in somebody else's culture, as long as you're like not being like weird about it. But
Yeah, I mean, culture appropriation, and here's another car chase scene.
oh yeah,
But-
this one has a huge explosion when they go off the cliff, doesn't it?
Yeah, they fall off the cliff. They don't touch anything, and the car just blows up.
So you know what's
Is that the one?
interesting? Like obviously, like so rear screen projection, like now it looks pretty shit, right? Like with looking back, it looks pretty shitty. At the time, it looked pretty cool. People were like pretty, into it. Thought it looked pretty great on screen. Like Hitchcock famously used it like a ton.
Yeah.
And then now with the Mandalorian, and then like these other companies like producing these insane effects through rear, front, all these different types of projection. Now it's come back like full circle, and like it almost looks better than green screen.
Well, there's something just like green screen now. Green
Look,
screen nowadays.
Wait, watch. It goes down the cliff super slow, and then I think it just explodes.
Like, why does it explode?
I don't know.
But
Just,
I don't know which one it is, and it might not even be a bonfire, but it's a classic like car goes off the cliff and it hasn't touched anything and it blows up.
I know.
Like
It makes
but it hasn't
absolutely
hit
no
anything.
sense.
It just went off a cliff.
How did it happen? I think they're on the way to the funeral. This guy was like low key, like, dude, you're savage. What's wrong with you?
That dude just made a joke. Those people are dead.
Yeah, man, shame on you. Those people are dead. What did they do to you?
Also, how bad would he feel? I mean, he was there with the crane and stuff. Like, he inadvertently might think that he killed those people,
Right?
right? Like,
Oh, hello. See, she's just got like a wonky eye.
I don't know. I'm still going with like I think she's supposed to be Asian.
All right. Well, that's just like your
We need a
opinion,
name,
man.
Give us a name.
Yeah, and on IMDb it says her name is Miss Taro.
For it. Taro?
Yeah, Miss Taro. Her name is Zena Marshall. Zena? Zena.
That's the actress?
Yeah.
But Taro. I mean, where's the origins of Taro?
English, Irish, French. She has like she has a bunch of ancestry according to her IMDb.
You know what though? I'm looking at her eyes now, and one of them looks actually kind of lazy.
Is it lazy or is the technical term wonky?
Wonky. Is that the scientific term?
Yeah, I think like the doctor
The
says
medical
to you,
term. Ah, yes, a wonky eye.
he's like, I think it doesn't work right. And she's got like poison lipstick and something, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, she was born in Nairobi,
The actress?
Yeah. But there's a lot of like British people that were born in different parts of like the, the quote unquote Commonwealth, you know?
Why is that quote unquote? It is the Commonwealth.
Yeah. Anyways.
A fan.
Yeah. Cut away to the fan. That's how you know it's
Chinese. She just said, I'll make you Chinese dinner. I don't know.
so. What's wrong with that?
I'm trying to find hints to see if she actually
You're
supposed
just
to be.
you're just looking to be outraged.
I'm looking to find the trigger, okay?
She said she was gonna.
Once I find it.
She was gonna make him pâté chinois.
Yeah, that's the. I don't know why it's even called like Chinese pate or Chinese patties.
So for people who don't know, pâté chinois is just shepherd's pie, or
It's the French shepherd's pie.
yeah.
It's very big in French Canadian. French Canadian. It's a very French Canadian dish.
You want to know what we called it because we're white trash? China pie.
What's the, really?
I don't know why.
I feel like that's more racist than her character.
I don't think anyone else ever called it that. It's just
China pie.
yeah, just for whatever reason though, like who's like, yeah,
Come
well,
on,
technically
the
it's called like.
outfit. Look at the outfit.
So she likes her outfit. It matches. Be
I don't
careful
know.
of her nail
I don't know.
varnish. She spits on him too. Like that's like brutal. That's assault, lady.
That's assault.
Oh wait, it might be this one that he waits. I feel like
You
he
know
waits
what?
in
I
a
think
few.
you might be right.
He waits in a few of them. He hangs out because there's
But
the
it's
one.
the one where he's literally like he gets comfortable and plays cards. I love it so much.
Yeah, eh?
It's so good. Like, come on, the lamp, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she's just super into the Asian culture, you know.
He's like, sweet. She's got a full bar. I'm gonna get drunk off my ass, play cards. That's the other thing.
Have you ever played cards ever played by yourself?
When the power was out.
Really, like power is out, and you're just like, I'm gonna play some solitaire.
Well, like
I don't know how to
with-
play
like,
solitaire.
really? It's
Like
pretty easy.
I remember like playing it on the computer, but if someone handed me like a deck of cards, I'd be like, oh yeah, play solitaire. I'd be like, I think you just stack cards the way you do, and you count them all the way up, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's it. Spider Solitaire is where it's at.
I don't know. I've never played with myself
Um,
with cards. With
yeah,
cards,
I feel
mean.
like before the internet was really like speedy in the
I
country.
mean,
and
before the internet, but like early computer games to me, it wasn't like Steam and stuff. To me, it was freaking playing pinball, space pinball. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that thing was
Space
awesome.
pinball, and then no one can forget Minesweeper, the game that no one knew how to play, and it was literally a game of luck.
Chance. Yeah, I feel like,
Like-
I
Does anyone know how to play Minesweeper? Like, I never understood how to play it properly.
you
I'm
just
sure there's like a.
you just hope
but
to
like
do a
it-
little better each time.
I guess I love that. I love the fact that he's just playing cards.
Yeah.
Because
it
what
is.
else do you do, right? Like it humanizes. Like that's the one good thing about the Doctor Knows and the Russian with Love, like the first couple bonds.
Yeah, he doesn't have
Is
any. He doesn't have a cell phone, you know. Drop it, Professor.
It was the tall man all along.
Haha! Caught you, stupid. You were playing cards the whole time, weren't you? Yes, I was. Look at this guy. He's
Yeah, would you
also
like to
super.
play?
He's also super non-low key, trying to get his gun back.
They always are. They're always after the gun, and it's not exactly super low key.
No.
But like, I don't know, they always think they've got a chance. I guess at this point, if you're like, well, he's probably gonna kill me.
You
I don't
try
know,
to get
like,
the gun too. I would have tried to shoot him right away. I already have the gun in my hand.
That's the thing. I guess it's a way of. Oh no.
That's a Smith and Wesson. You've had your 6. Brap, brap. He gets him.
I mean, that's cool.
And he shoots him again in the butt.
And he shoots him in the back.
Blows on it like it makes a difference. You know how hot that would be?
No.
It would be
You
really
know how
hot.
loud it would be? It'd be very loud, though.
Oh, yeah.
It wouldn't just go.
Silencers are not.
Silencers is Hollywood's biggest lie.
My favorite silencer sound, which is like, it's been used so much, the Goldeneye. It's like,
Yeah.
it's used so much in so many different films that now, if it doesn't happen in a film, you're like, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it's.
There's something to that, right? Like, there is like what it really sounds like or what it really should sound like or be like.
But then, yeah, the Hollywood, because like we're so used to like a car stopping or taking off, or you know, like just like car chases, right? You got the tire squeal. They'll add in tire squeal when clearly there should never be a squeal, like on dirt and stuff, like in sand, on like gravel. There's no tire squeal,
Right?
but it sounds right.
But whenever your tires do squeal, you're like, whoa.
My tires squeal when I brake. In terms of like when you're just like, I'm about to get rear-ended, that's when my tires squeal. I don't have exactly a car that has that takeoff squeal feel. The squeal feel.
The squeal feel.
I don't have that. It's not that kind of
Dude,
car.
I was on a bit of a road trip the past, like, I don't know, 3 or 4
Yeah.
days. And the amount of people texting and driving is shocking.
Really?
Oh, my, man. Like, yeah. There's one guy I drove by, and you know those, like, mounts in your car that, like, hold your phone up for you?
Yeah.
He's full on playing a game off of it.
No.
Full on.
Like a game, or is he just like maybe checking something on a GPS or whatever?
No,
I'm not
full on
condoning it.
swiping,
Ooh, that's
doing
dark.
like
There's
a
not
little...
much lighting that one.
This is shot like during the day. You can tell it's shot during the day.
Because of the dark like at the
Day
like,
for night.
above them. Yeah.
Um,
It's like when the it's super, like this isn't too bad. The worst oh yeah, I can see it at the top. The worst day to night shot I've ever seen is actually from oh my god, what I am blanking all over today. Deliverance.
okay, I've never actually seen
Deliverance?
Deliverance. That's something I gotta add to
Really?
the list. Yeah,
The old squeal like a pig.
it's not like is it like all man rape or is it?
No, it's just a scene. It's like it's like 1 minute in the entire movie.
Okay,
Like it's a good movie. It's not something. It's one of those. I'm glad I watched it, but I will never watch it again. You know what I'm saying? It's one of
like-
those movies. You're like, I watched it. Yeah, I've watched Requiem for a Dream. Will I ever watch it? No.
yeah.
Will I ever do
Requiem,
drugs? No.
It's not even. I don't know. Requiem is not even like. I didn't even find it that good of a movie. It's just sort of shocking.
I watched it. I went, okay, I'm never doing drugs. And I went, I'm never touching this movie again. But it's a great movie to show your kids. You want to turn them off of drugs? Show them that
Requiem.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But like there's also that, and then you also read like Motley Crue's The Dirt, and you're like, actually drugs seem kind of fun. I don't know.
You've seen that movie, The Dirt?
Well, I read the book a long time ago. The movie's not the best, but
No? The movie's ridiculous. It's fun.
Ursula Andress, eh? She was like the first Bond girl. Like she looks so good.
How many times did they do that that bathing suit? They do a replica kind of situation with Halle Berry when she comes out.
Yeah.
She's got the knife, and then Daniel Craig becomes the
Oh yeah,
Bond.
he comes out of
he
the
comes
water
out of the water with a very similar
all TRT'd
style.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say Daniel Craig were better.
Yeah, it's true. It's funny. Women didn't do squats back in the day, right? So like it's just like it's all about front action. There's no back action.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like I'm like a butt man, and we're not gonna have a discussion about a woman's body because that's not okay. It's 2020, Adam. What are you doing?
I'm talking about
Your
fitness.
girlfriend listens to this.
I'm talking about fitness.
Right. Well, men, like, compare men's physique to today's physique. Men were like the hairy, burly kind of like, right? Like, sexy was like hairy
yeah.
and burly, and it's kind of like it's just before a dad bod.
Yeah.
That was like in shape.
Connery was pretty in shape for the time, you know?
But again, it's still that like it's no ab like nowadays when you're thinking of like sexy bodies, right? It's completely clean shaven.
Oh yeah,
and
no hair.
like pecs and the abs, but you compare that like to old films and old action stars. Everyone's pretty much sporting like they're about 20 pounds away from a dad bod and hairy as hell.
Right.
Like
right.
look at even like the
Schwarzenegger was
first
like the
X-Men.
first,
Wolverine isn't jacked at all.
Not as jacked. Not as jacked as he gets later.
Well, no, he's not. He's not jacked the way we think of jacked. You know what I mean? Like there's no abs and there's a lot of hair. I mean, he's in shape, but he's
Yeah.
not jacked.
You got to be really jacked to look jacked behind, 2 inches of chest hair. Like when you watch, like I don't know if you watch much UFC, but there's like
No.
there's some guys that like just stick with just being hairy dude, and for them to look just as jacked as somebody who's like clean, like just like waxed, they have
Yeah.
to be like huge. I love this guy's ADR voice. It's clearly like somebody else.
You want to talk about ADR? A lot of Bond girls were ADR'd back in the day.
I think
from the old
a lot
Bond
of the
movies.
movies were just 100% ADR too.
What is this, Italy? I didn't understand that. Like, I'm like, why does it sound weird when you watch like old like spaghetti westerns?
Yeah.
It doesn't look right when you're a kid.
But I still.
Although ADR as you grow up, especially when you like know about ADR, like it's so much easier to spot.
Yeah.
Like, and it's so easy to spot bad ADR.
Yeah. I think.
And
Well, like, what's weird is like, yeah, like, do other people notice, or do they just know like something's off about it? Or
I don't think they notice. It's the same thing. Like I've had the same experience with like True Motion TVs.
Oh,
Where like I've watched a movie on someone
hate it.
at someone else's TV, right? And you know what I'm talking about, the True
Yeah.
Motion, whatever it's called on the TV that makes it look like you're watching like a soap opera or like sports, right? It's that like 60 frames per second kind of like your eye feels weird watching it. I
Yeah.
hate it. It looks weird to me, and I remember like I'll watch something, or I remember when we were first watching Mando at my buddy's place, and I'm like, he's like, what? I'm like, you don't see it? Like it just looks. It doesn't look natural.
No, it looks
Like it looks like
awful.
I'm watching a play.
Yeah,
It just looks weird. But he couldn't see it, right? Like he's like, I think I see what you're talking about, but like it doesn't register. But like we watch a lot of movies, right? We watch a lot of things that are done at like the proper like 24 frames.
Yeah,
And we're just
24
so used to that feeling of motion that anything
Yeah.
else just feels unnatural. It feels wrong.
you know what's weird too? Like 24 is like the North American standard,
Yeah, I think
right?
it's 25 in Europe.
Yeah, there's 25 in Europe, which even that it's like one too many. I don't know what
Really?
it is. I that's just my own personal preference, and I think like it's
I won't notice it. I don't notice even up to like 30 is not that noticeable for me.
really. So I
It's
will
when I
notice
get the-
30. I'll
It's
notice
when,
30
like,
right
30
away.
feels very YouTube-y, right? Like that's their
just
standard YouTube
that,
kind of
well, that
video.
was like, yeah, exactly. And I think they all have their own purpose and format. And to be honest, like the high frame rate, smooth motion thing is great for sports. Like,
Yeah. Oh, video games.
yeah, and I think that's the thing is like people that are okay with it for movies grew up playing more video games than that. So
And that's the thing too, right? He's a big gamer. So again, he wasn't seeing the motion I see. So I'm sure it's the same thing with ADR. I like sometimes you're like, well, that sounded weird, or like, oh, his voice doesn't sound like that. Like or like, you know, like you see someone, you're like, that voice doesn't seem to match, or the lips don't match. You just
Yeah.
thinking it's bad syncing or something, or maybe it's just a bad recording, but it's like, no, they full on like this is someone else that re-recorded that, or it's
Yeah.
just like, no, it sounds weird because they recorded in an echo room and they're outside. Like
yeah,
that's when it gets bad, and it's, I guess we know how the magic is made, right? We've seen like behind the curtains on a lot of things. So movie makers, movie filmmakers, and just movie enthusiasts who just know how the fun, like I will say most people who enjoy movies have an understanding, maybe not a complete understanding, but I feel I have an understanding of how movies are made and how movies work.
Yeah.
That we can really understand when something's off pertaining to how it's made, like ADR,
Yeah.
for example, or frame rate, or
yeah. I just think too, like back then they didn't have as great of technology to control the sound like they do now. You know?
sure, but I've seen bad ADR now.
Yeah.
It's
it
not.
still
It's very
happens.
common. It happens a lot. You'll like things to look out for is mostly like when there's actual things happening outside, like it's windy, or when you
Rain.
can clearly see like there's like a generator, like when there's something running in the background, right? Like there's like fans and stuff. Usually ADR has to be done because it's so freaking loud.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's just it.
But yeah, when it's bad, it's bad.
Well, yeah, that's yeah. But I mean,
I
don't
mean,
know.
you've been actually pretty successful in terms of ADRing, like in your car and stuff too.
Yeah,
Like there's a few times you show me ADR. Like obviously, once I know it's ADR, you can't help but see it. But like, it's not that bad.
no. I mean, look, my trick that I've done is, if at all possible, can you use a similar space
Yeah.
or get to the
that's
original
huge.
space and re-record it in there, even if it's just a laptop and you're doing it sort of freehand and then you got to piece it together after. I've had success with that. I've done it in the car, and I've replaced someone's voice 100%.
Yeah,
and
we've done that before too.
with some mild success. There's other things like I have to experiment with this, but there's this thing called like reverb reflection. So like if you go to a location, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna have to re-record shit. Oh
Did
yeah,
you
her
just kill the
face.
guy by just like that was a weird kill.
Yeah, I know. And like you do.
It just looks like he put his hand over his mouth and that was it. Called it a day.
Yeah. You can't speak no more.
Anyway, sorry, you're saying.
But yeah, you do like this reverb reflection thing, and you record like essentially just like loud claps and slams inside of a room and space to get that, so the reverb and EQ will match. You know, I don't know. So it's all those things, just like little tricks, and I don't know. At the end of the day, too, like if you have the time on set, like after like the fan is running or after the rain machine is off, to just record in the space a few safety wild lines, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, the Dragon Tracks thing, when I
I
was
know.
like reading that, or when I saw that when I was a kid, I was like, oh, these people are dumb. This is how like
Yeah, I don't know who talks about it. I'm sure that I think there's another podcast that talked about it, but like I don't think she's fully there.
What do you mean? Like she's like
She might be a little mentally
Irregular?
like slow.
she has chromosome issues.
I don't know. Like there's people like, you know, she like he might be Pond might be taking advantage of a girl that might be a little bit on the
Developmentally
spectrum.
challenged.
Yeah. Well, because, like, what does she do? She's, like, she collects shells and believes in a dragon that has, like, tracks. I don't know. It just...
She gets like $50-$60 for her shells, though. You know how like much that is in $1960? It's probably a lot. You sound like you're sending Morse code on the other side.
Who, me?
Yeah, there's like some shaking, and like it sounds like you're sending Morse code.
They're shaking? I'm shaking? What do you mean? Is something moving?
Something's moving. It sounds like
Is it my breathing? Am I breathing?
your breathing is causing like a drum sound.
I don't know. What could be drumming?
I don't know, dude, but it's happening.
I might be hitting the. I don't know. Is it still happening?
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. Anyways, that'll be annoying for somebody listening.
Well, is it doing it now? Now I'm concerned.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, dude.
What?
I think I figured it out.
What's that?
It might have been on my end.
Oh, wow. Blaming me for something you were doing. Don't mind Adam's technical issue, because he'll just blame it on you.
Yeah, that's how I got through most of my life. Is I just blame things on other people until I figure it out, and then never tell them.
I do that with farts.
Anyways, so this chick's whole life is just like paddling off to other islands, and
Yeah, I mean, sure, she actually had a pretty bad life before, right? And she talks about being
assaulted.
But yeah, she just kind of goes and sells shells.
I mean,
And they just let her, like, that she just comes here and they're like, yeah, it's fine. And it's the shell lady.
yeah,
back
I
to
think
collect
like
some more
before
shells.
certain times, you could just do shit like that. I
could
think,
just
yeah, because like,
sell shells for a living.
yeah, she sells.
Is that the equivalent of being a
seashells.
YouTuber?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Like there is just shit like that down in like.
Oh no, it's
tropical
the
island.
dragon that clearly looks like totally like a rolling car.
Yeah, which is also like it's straight out of like World War One, like the whatever things they used.
Yeah, guys, look at the. See that seems kind of like it's. Oh, look at the white man explaining to the black guy and the dumb lady, like, oh guys, look, it's not a dragon, it's a car. It has wheels
Yeah.
and an engine.
To be fair though, like if I saw tracks and somebody's like, "It's a dragon," I'd be like, "Okay, well, you're gonna sit over here."
Like clearly those are actual like tank tracks. Like
Yeah. I don't think I don't know what he's going to accomplish by just shooting out the lights,
yeah, what's the like so like it's not like those lights make a hell of a difference either.
No, you can't see shit out there.
I know.
Have you seen
I know this dude gets boned. Like that,
Yeah, he gets
that guy
burnt.
does not deserve that death.
Yeah, he gets burned like Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
I know. Where's his action figure?
Right? These guys in their Corona outfits. That's how I feel like I got to go to the grocery store nowadays. I'll tell you, man, like every time I go out, there's always one person without a mask.
Without a mask?
Yeah, at least
Yeah.
one person.
Like in my apartment building, it's supposed to be like required, but I see people constantly without masks on.
I know, right? It's crazy.
It's the classic like, and of course your first thought is like, okay, well maybe they have a condition,
They have stupid.
but but at the same time you're like, if kids can wear masks.
Right?
Like what? Like
And the
even if
elderly.
you've got asthma, I don't know. Like
I have
Isn't that-
asthma. It's fine.
I know my girlfriend has got asthma too. She wears a mask. I don't know. I don't
It's
know.
just like your baby. You suffer from
What condition
being
would
a-
you need? Like I've seen people that need like oxygen wear masks.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about oxygen. I mean like they wear like a mask as well. So I don't know.
Anyways, so these guys are
but
wearing
you're
full
right, yeah.
hazmat suits.
There's a reason why this COVID's not going away anytime soon.
Yeah.
No one listens. I feel like bed bugs
Yeah.
are scarier than
Ooh, this
COVID.
guy's got
And
a
I'm not
pink
saying-
suit.
Yeah, you know he's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is, of course, but this is prior to how before people even knew how radiation fully worked. Too.
Right.
It wasn't like right because this is still very very early in.
The nuclear age.
Yeah.
I mean,
So they
the
didn't really-
military.
I love the scrubbing.
I know that would hurt so bad. There, you're clean.
That's the worst cleaning I've ever seen. One, they just did the backs but not the fronts.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, there you go. Take the clothes off. There you go. Like you should have done that to begin with. Like I don't even know why they tested it before. It's like let me toss it on clothes, and let me just scrub your clothes real quick. Yeah, there's still radiation. Yeah, no shit.
Look at him. He's all like, let me
I
just
know.
get jacked.
See, there you go. That's a little bit. I mean, it's still not perfect, but
I like this like conveyor belt that has multiple
it's very
showers.
Jetsons, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
Mine's are
this
very
shower.
Jetsons.
It's okay. Well, I'll go to the next shower.
Man, I'd love that. I'd love an automatic thing like that. You like brushes your teeth and stuff for you, and like boom, get it all
It does
done.
it all. Pretty sure you see her almost naked there.
I think she's wearing a piece.
Like she's got something on or something.
She's
Eh?
wearing like what are they called? Stickies or
The
stickers? Pasties.
Yeah.
That's what they're called. Pasties.
I believe so. Yeah.
All right. Pasties. Yeah.
I could be wrong, but
Speaking of boobies, I'm pretty sure. I think it's the Roger Moore era, but the way that they did the intros, like in these ones, it's more silhouette-y, right? But
Yeah.
in the Roger Moore ones, it's not fully silhouettes. Like they're still like only parts of their body are like darker. So on the like Blu-ray copies of them, because of the way it's done, you can straight up see like nipples and stuff.
see some nips. Right
You
on.
see some nips. It reminds me
Right
of like American
on.
Pie. Like that's a nipple. That's a nipple.
Younger generations will never know the struggle to see any type of pornographic material. Now you can just like with one simple click on your phone see like the worst anal fisting possible. It was just
Yeah,
hard.
back in the day, we were using Sears catalogs.
It was hard to just see the silhouette of a nipple back in the day. I
Man,
love this
side boob was
layer.
like- and when you got side boob in a PG-13 movie, man, look out.
Yeah. I love this underground layer that he's got rocking. You know?
I mean, okay, I see. Like, see, they're using actual Asian actresses for this scene. So, if they were going to, they would have used.
But they're the help.
The other girl.
So
That's true.
I don't know. I don't think the other
I
girl.
don't understand. It's just like, you know what though? Like because of your race, like you can only be like a stand-in role,
Right?
and maybe like
It
you can
is
play the
weird.
scientist in the background.
Would you stay at this hotel if it was a real hotel? You know, the underground Bond lair hotel.
Why do they always have rooms? It's like, Mr. Bond, we've been waiting you. Yes, he
We
will
have
kill
a
you later, but first.
Stay in this
You
5-star
must
hotel.
stay in his like 5-star hotel underground, underwater.
Right.
It's weird.
Would you stay like if they made a themed hotel where it's like Bond themed like that? Like the rooms have different themes that look like Bond sets like that. Would you
Like
stay at it?
Volcano Lair and
Yeah.
whichever lair. That'd be kind of cool.
Like you've heard of the Star Wars hotel?
No.
Okay, so it's in Disney. I don't know if
Okay.
it's open. Well, open prior to COVID or whatever. If it's just like it's
Like
on the
did it
books.
open around the same time as the like Galaxy thing that they announced, where you can go in like the Millennium Falcon and all that crap?
Yeah, and it's
That
like,
looks cool.
Yeah, it's like you've been to Disney, like Florida, right?
A while ago, prior to
Yeah.
of course the Disney acquisition.
So like, I think
prior to the Star Wars acquisition.
because there was a Star Wars thing in Disney, but I think they just expanded that massively at MGM or whatever it's called, Hollywood Studios. But essentially, it's like you can go and stay at a hotel, but it's
Is
like
there
you're
like a cantina?
No, it's like everything is themed. It's like you're staying on a space station. So like the windows aren't even windows. It's like an LED screen and you're like looking out at space.
What?
And it's like the whole idea is that like you don't
That's a quick acting freaking tea, man.
right?
Holy tamale. Or coffee. Like, that is quick.
Yeah, like how he tries to get up. I do the same thing. And then he like would fall on his broken teacup and bleed out.
I could. Bond was taken out because he accidentally cut his wrist on a freaking teacup when he passed out. I kind of like. I kind of don't mind. Those are always fun to see when someone is taken out by like the most mediocre thing, like the most mundane, boring thing, the most normal thing. Like all of a sudden, your villain just dies of an aneurysm just there.
I love that they put him in a bed and covered him up.
Like
Look, he's sleepy.
Bond villains are some of the most polite people ever. They'll kill
Right?
their own They'll be more cruel to their henchmen than they will be to their actual like nemesis who's actually trying to stop them.
So Dr. No has no hands. That's what the no stands for, is no hands.
That would be no. Oh, like no hands. NHO.
I don't know. But yeah, back to the Star Wars land thing. So yeah, you can stay
Yeah.
like you're staying,
Stay in a space station.
and then you're encouraged to dress up, and everyone that works there sort of plays a role like they work, I don't know, on the Star Destroyer or whatever.
That's cool.
Wouldn't it be?
You ever stay there? You want
No,
to stay there?
I want to stay there. Like it's
I'd
fairly
love
new.
to stay there.
Yeah.
Let's just go. Like
Right
let's
now.
let's just like book a weekend, man.
Right now, there's
I
probably
mean,
not a ton of
yeah.
people there.
There you go. Let's just go. Like tomorrow. I'll just tell my girlfriend, tell my work, just taking
You
some
don't
time
work.
off. Going
You
to
barely
Disney.
work as it is. Yeah, that actually sounds like the greatest vacation. If it wasn't for COVID,
I know. COVID ruins a lot of stuff, and I'm not talking about like actual people's lives that actually affected by it, but I mean that's awful too. But man, it's a different world out there.
It is.
And will it ever be different? Like people will be like this isn't going away anytime soon. And even
No.
with like vaccines coming in, like even if it's getting better, the world is actually going to be much different after this. And I think I've talked about that before. It's just
It is sort of
gone are
scary,
the days of like the stuff you used to be able to do.
right? Hopefully it does come back, but it
I know.
will
I miss
never
going
be.
to the movies.
I miss the movies. I just miss like
Man.
the ease of doing shit. Like everything.
Yeah, let me go pick up like a pie, like down the street. Or
My regular activities pre-COVID, my pie picking up ability.
actually, well, I mean, one thing is, and I was starting to get that down pat, is like my like regular like movie nights with my friends, board game nights with friends, even going like thrift shopping is something I always love doing.
Right.
Going to like the local pawn shop and the thrift shop and the like your local Value Village. I just like because I like browsing. I'm a browser. I don't go like I don't like. Sure, I go shopping for like specific things sometimes, but I don't like shopping to begin with, right? If I don't like doing something like groceries, I gotta get it done quick. But
Yeah.
browsing, I could stay at a store for a while just browsing. But you can't do that anymore, and you got to go there for a purpose because you might die.
Yeah. So those fish, they're like, it's for like the whatever. They just
It's
film.
magnifying glass
Yeah, it's like magnifying like
Yeah.
a ton. Yeah, it's funny.
because I think he talks about it too.
Yeah,
I
because
mean, it's cool. If I had an aquarium, yeah, the fish are cool, but like, nah, make them bigger, more,
I want to see them.
more, more.
Yeah, I don't know what he's supposed to look like, but he does look pretty evil.
He's supposed to. I mean, he's supposed to be of Japanese or I forget. He's supposed to be of like Asian and like I think German descent.
Right. Is it ever established what he's working on at this place?
I
Some
don't
type of
know.
nuclear thing?
Is there ever a Bond movie where he just says his name without saying Bond first? I don't know.
Or he calls himself Jim.
Jim. Call me Jim.
Jim. Isn't that
Yeah,
James?
but if he calls himself Jim, next thing you know, he's always looking at the camera, giving that little smirk. I wanted the Office style Bond movie. Please.
So that painting, the Duke of Wellington, it's like a replica in the film, obviously, but it is like a famous painting that was stolen, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, I read that.
Okay.
On
It's
the
got like
IMDb.
the Rembrandt painting, like Cottages by Rembrandt or something like that. Some of the most famous stolen paintings.
Oh, I didn't know. I actually I went to Rembrandt's house, believe it or not.
Did you?
Yeah.
Where is Rembrandt's? I have no. I know nothing about Rembrandt except for the name. And that he
He's
painted.
a Dutch painter.
So you went to Dutchland.
Yeah, I went
No,
to
wait,
Amsterdam.
that would be Deutschland is Germany, right?
Deutschland. Yeah, no, yeah. He's a Dutch painter. He's like lived in Amsterdam, so you can still go tour his house. Man, dude, partied, and he lived like.
Did he?
Yeah, he lived a pretty crazy life. He died a pretty sad life, but like he collected like guns and weapons and weird shit.
But he lived.
Yeah, he lived pretty hard. I think that's why he died kind of young. But yeah, I don't know. I found like of all like I did like the Van Gogh Museum or Van Gogh as they say, and Van Gogh was pretty like depressed and sad, and like his life was pretty sad. But like
Right. I mean,
Right.
yeah, he died poor, didn't he?
yeah, and his brother was
I
kind
mean,
of a dick.
most famous painters weren't exactly rich in life.
No, and I mean Rembrandt, like he had money at the beginning, but he just managed it so poorly that he died broke. But yeah, he had a pretty cool house, and they had like his original painting studio and how he had things set up, and like even to this day, like some of the techniques he used to just like light people to paint them are still used in like modern cinematography. So it's kind of cool. And then if you go to like the main museum in Amsterdam, the Reich Museum, as it's called, they have a lot of his paintings there, like the Night Watch. I think that's what it was called, like the most famous one of his. It's like massive paintings, like the size of a wall.
So, this scene is weird.
Right?
She's just about to be like taken advantage of by a multiple guards and stuff, right? And he's about to like, yeah, but I mean, I prefer the 53 myself. Like,
Yeah.
what?
I've got a mission to do.
Like, dude, you could have taken that guy easy. Man, Bond is a savage.
Oh, he's making missiles.
They always are, Adam. They always want, it's either missiles for destruction or holding it against, I never understood that. Like destroying the world.
So yeah, that's their whole gimmick, right? Spectre, they're just in it to do bad
Spectre
shit.
is a stupid name. Like what it stands for.
Yeah, they just showed it. What was it? Special something?
Yeah.
People-
Like revenge and like extortion. Like it's clearly made to sound, but there's like one word, there's a couple words that like it doesn't make sense.
They
right?
thought of
Like, it
Spectre
just-
first and then thought what the letters could mean.
Yeah, it's like shield.
Right.
Right?
Strategic
like
homeland.
what do you think those words mean? I think you really want it to spell shield. Like
is it?
that's what they mean.
What is SHIELD? Strategic Homeland Inter Defense Liaison?
Liaison department or division. And it's
Division.
but they do it in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's like, do you know what those words mean? I think you really want it to spell out shield. I feel like it's the same thing for Spectre. Like, it just...
Oh, he can crush shit with his robot hands. This is always like a thing in Bond movies. Like the villain, like at first he tries to kill Bond, but then he's like, let me take him out for a date.
Yeah, they let me take him out. Let me do it like like it's like the gentleman's agreement, right? Like, Mr. Bond, come out for dinner, please.
Yeah. But what if I'm not
in modern
hungry?
Bond, they're just like they're like talking over Facebook, like he'll slip into his DMs, you know.
Yo, You want to get a burrito?
It's like 2 a.m.
Yeah. Can't right now. Okay, but do you want a burrito eventually? No. But I gotta tell you my master plan over this burrito. Why do we have to get a burrito? Just fucking come over and let's have some food, all right? I want to get to know you before I murder you.
It's always like that. Like, why? Why? What was the plan of having him, inviting him, and then sending the girl out, and then having to try to get him killed?
This guy's karate
that
chopping him.
chop.
That's so weird. Now he's in a dungeon.
Just kill him.
Right? Imagine your job was like the executive chef for like a Bond villain, you know? Like that's your gimmick, like you answer like a Craigslist ad.
I'm just a cook.
Yeah. Oh, was that Under
Steven
Siege?
Seagal in Under Siege in James Bond films.
Yeah.
I'm just a cook.
I'm going to show him some deadly moves.
I mean, there's something funny about like just the workers, because especially for like let's Jesus, let's look at the like Bond villain. They're always like a CEO of like a major evil corporation, right?
Yeah.
A lot of them are like there's a few of them. But like imagine working for that, like where your boss is straight up like a straight up Bond villain.
You mean like
I'd love to see the corporate like
that's probably like working for Exxon or
Amazon
or yeah, whoever, or like who's like the guy that stole Bernie Madoff, you know what I mean?
I think there's something funny there. I'd love to see like just someone being hired at a like straight up Bond villain corporation and just making his way through the ranks.
Right. What is it? Solo kind of made fun of that a bit, like join the Empire, right?
Yeah, I mean that's what Solo should have been about. I think I don't know if we talked about it. Did we ever review Solo? I'm sure we probably
we did
have.
Solo. I think we both didn't like it.
That's one thing that's what that movie should have been about. You shouldn't have done all of it. I mean, especially when they were like, "Yeah, we're planning to make more." Are you? Because you kind of finished the story there.
Yeah, I think they were gonna try and move off of it and do the Darth Maul thing.
Yeah, I think so too. But honestly, if you're gonna make a prequel and you're planning on making, a couple more of those, you probably shouldn't have literally showed you every single thing that this guy has done. You know?
Yeah, I think
like
the mistake.
even the dice.
Yeah.
Like, come on! I'll just put down Solo. Stupid.
I think the mistake is making a Solo movie to begin with. I think you make a movie where a young Han Solo makes an appearance or something, but there's no stakes, there's no risk, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's why you have something like Mando,
right?
Where it's a completely new character. You don't know what sure, the name of the character, but like a lot of the people there are showing up. You don't know their fates, right? Nothing is set in stone in this one. And it doesn't it works upon the world it lives in, but everything else is free game.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing too. If they were gonna make the Solo and they were already there to begin with, they should have stuck with them in the Empire. That was one of the best parts.
Yeah.
Like I'd love to see just how the Empire works in terms of like just being kind of like a runt, right? Like just being like the low level soldier, because that's what they are, right? They're pretty much like they're not brainwashed, but they're join the military, join the Empire.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like do your thing, be the patriot. There's something there.
No, that's true. And it would be fun.
And that steam alone would be burning him, like on that little rag that he's got.
Oh yeah, you'd be doing sauna time right now.
He's not touching it anymore. Clearly his hand's touching the metal parts right now.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
He's burning up.
Man, he looks as beat up and ripped up as the beginning of Planet of the Apes. Right? It's that classic ripped shirt.
Heston.
Yeah, that's a weird movie. That series is
the first Planet of the Apes.
I've seen them all.
The first Planet of the Apes, like, especially like they crash land on a planet and then they're like, let's go skinny dipping.
Yeah, it's weird.
And then
what
at
they
the
do in that
end,
movie.
when he runs away, he's just like, give me a woman. Like, that's part of the ending, is negotiation, that he just gets some chick. It's like, really?
But it's also the one like where like don't they? It's all because of a doll. It's a very underwhelming film.
The original.
The original, where you're just like, this isn't like you're watching like, oh wow, okay. Like I feel like it's gonna be the same thing like when the same thing when I saw like Casablanca. I was like, okay, like I get it, but at the same time, like this is not the best movie ever.
Wow. You have to look at it through the lens of time.
But that's the other thing too. You shouldn't have to.
Fair. However,
Because if you say like, oh, that's the number one film ever made, I mean, it shouldn't be anymore because there's definitely better movies out there. Like, why can't it adapt? Casablanca was monumental in terms of filmmaking. I mean, so was Birth of a Nation, and that's a KKK movie.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily. It's not about the movie. It's all like yeah. I've never seen Birth of a Nation, so I can't say if that's good or not. But yeah, that movie brought a lot of like the techniques that are still used today.
Yeah,
But
I've
things like
seen it.
Casablanca, you've seen it?
Film school, they showed us like a bunch of those.
I want to
like-
see it because I'm just curious about it. But obviously, I don't want to watch it because of its message. It's a bad message.
Yeah.
People shouldn't be racist.
It's
That's
gotten a
bad.
lot of like
KKK
more
is
press like recently, but like in film school they're like, yeah, it was like this guy
That dude.
this guy in his like inflated suit.
It just looked like he farted too much.
But yeah, they showed us like that and they were like, yeah, it was made by this guy and it was pretty racist, and even though it was pretty racist, he doubled down even more on the racism later in his other shit, and I don't know.
But again,
but they're like,
what
yeah,
he
it was,
managed to do, right? Like it's monumental in terms of filmmaking, not the content itself, but the filmmaking aspects
same as
are still being used
yeah.
today. But what I'm saying is, when people say like, "Oh yeah, Casablanca is like," I'm using Casablanca as an example. It could be Citizen Kane. I've never seen Citizen Kane. I feel like I would be the same thing. I'd be underwhelmed. I'd be
That
like,
one-
okay,
It was like the first movie to show ceilings. Isn't that funny?
that's weird.
Citizen Kane,
Isn't
yeah.
Psycho the first movie to show toilets?
Toilet flushing, yeah.
Yeah. I think just
Um,
toilets in general. There's never toilets in bathrooms.
No.
They and Hitchcock specifically wrote a scene that she flushes it down the toilet so that it was in the script that they actually had to put a toilet in the scene
Yeah.
because he wanted to show a toilet.
You know who else too?
That suit, man.
Yeah,
I just
I know,
can't get
right?
over it.
It's funny. Lenny Riefenstahl, she doesn't get talked about a lot either, right?
Who?
Lenny Riefenstahl, she was like Goebbels' like DP essentially, for the Nazis. But she's the one who invented the dolly.
Really?
Yeah, and and she did all like their propaganda movies and all that. Like,
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's neat. I mean, if it wasn't for
what they were
Nazi
promoting,
scientists, there wouldn't be really a space program either.
Well, no.
It's weird when you think about like how awful human beings are and how things have come up out of it.
yeah. Have you watched
It's kind of-
on Disney Plus? It's like The Right Stuff. It's pretty good, like dramatization.
I've
of
seen the
this-
movie. I haven't seen the show yet. But
Yeah, it's-
actually, I thought it was a documentary, and like I was still gonna watch it because I love space and stuff, right? Because this is about the
Mercury missions.
The Mercury, yeah, the ones before the Apollo. I've seen the movie. Like I've seen the movie from like the 80s there.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that was an original. And then like I looked at when they released the thumbnail. I was like, is that Mike from Suits? I'm like, oh, it's like it's an actual show. That was like a documentary type show.
No, it's good.
I've
been watching it.
yeah.
Like it releases weekly, and I've been enjoying it.
It feels like what they did with From the Earth to the Moon. You ever watch that? HBO's From the Earth to the Moon.
No. Oh, maybe.
Yeah, it was essentially like it was after they did Apollo 13. Ron Howard,
Yes, I
Tom
have
Hanks
seen
and
this.
Brian
Yeah.
Grazer. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good
good.
one too. That's a good one
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
So like as soon as I knew it was a show, I was like, oh, I gotta watch it. It feels like it's gonna be the freaking danger levels. Why would
Danger.
you create danger levels? Like I never understood that. There's just like, why are there dials to go further and higher when you're not supposed to anyways?
Oh no, this guy in his inflated suit.
I know the inflated suit is just ridiculous.
Like him on his mic too. Stop it. I love that they have a globe too.
Like the giant freaking the giant globe from from Austin Powers.
When it says abandoned area too, that's so specific. You could just say exit, you know? But it's like it's so specific. Abandoned area.
This feels like this is how Dr. Freeze turned into Freeze.
Yeah, true. What do you think? Do you think the new Batman's gonna be good? Matt Reeves.
From what I've seen in the trailer wise, and
the Vampire Batboy.
hey man, Robert Pattinson, he gets a bad rap because of you can crush a can, you can crush metal, but you can't hold on.
Aha, stupid! You should have thought of that before you cut off your
Should have
hands.
thought of that, dummy. I don't know. From what I've seen, and you know, Robert Pattinson gets a bad rap because of the whole Twilight thing, but it's a guy that got a breakout role in what he thought was going to be a I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
people shit on actors all the time for the roles that they take. Like think about how the Star Wars community almost made Jar Jar Binks kill himself, and the kid
Yeah.
that plays young Anakin never be an actor again. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
that's not fair.
No.
So yeah, I'll give him a shot. Why not? I mean, from what we've seen in the trailer, it can go either way.
Yeah,
It could be really good, or it could be bad, or it could be okay. The same thing could be said about Justice League, like the new
Yeah.
Justice League cut. Also, I've been watching and like there's stupid articles on. Man, I hate clickbait when they just like it's blatant lie. It's like the new thing is saying like Snyder, Jesus,
trips that guy.
Snyder, the guy jumping over.
Where is she? Number 12.
I'm
Show
surprised
me.
he didn't slap her this time. He's always fond of.
Oh yeah,
slapping
she's
women
in like
around.
the classic like what do you call it? Like chick in like on the railroad tie, you know?
Yeah.
No, I just heard Pattinson didn't even work out for the movie.
Really? I
Yeah. Like he
each
showed
their
up
own.
he showed up smaller than the suit was supposed to be.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like,
I don't know. I can't criticize it until I see it. Like these days,
fair enough.
even if it looks like shit, I still need to see it to fully like. You know what? No, this was a shit movie.
that guy
I
goes for a
can't judge
dive
it
and he
until
just
after.
full on belly flops.
But
Like how all
I
these
forget what I
guys
was-
were super concerned with him working, you know, before, and then now that everything's gonna blow up, they're just like, yeah, whatever, you can escape. I don't care.
well, not those guys.
They could have just like got on the boat together too. James Bond's like, no,
They never do that.
we'll escape
that
together.
dude's still past the. There you go. But they never do that.
It's a great miniature explosion.
It actually looks very good. But you ever notice that they never do that? Like it's like the goons are always fighting till the end.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, like I feel like there's definitely a flight more than fight at this point for
Yeah.
anybody. No one's paid that much to care that much.
Didn't what is it? Iron Man 3 sort of make fun of that, where the Iron Man points the thing at him, and that guy like gives up his gun, and he's like, I don't like my job that much.
Yeah, see, and I love subversions like that because we see that constantly, right? There's always the people fighting. Also, this is the one of many water endings, water sex endings.
There is a lot of water sex endings.
There's a lot of water sex. I can count at least 3 at the top of my head, and I'm sure there's actually more. Where the movie ends with them being in a boat or in water having sex.
What? We're not gonna finish?
No, they are when they tow them.
All right.
Yeah, it's not over yet, Adam.
Right. There you go. Underneath
That's
that
a
mango
bumpy
tree.
ride.
Whoa! Look what's going on there. They're gonna
See?
get that. All those guys on the boat can full on
And then
see. Then he
he
lets
just-
the line go.
And ouch on the hand.
Right? Do you ever go ziplining and not have the glove?
No, but I know what I know what rope burns feels like.
And then that's
Like,
the end of
dude.
Bond, and they
Yeah.
just full on starve and die out at sea because Bond needed to get laid.
But I want to see the other side where they're just like, stop, halt, stop, hold on.
Right?
Bond, you good? Yeah, I'll it'll be a minute. Okay. Like, all right.
So that's Dr. No.
That's Dr. No.
I always have a soft spot for Bond movies, as problematic as they are. I still love them, but let us know what you.
There's something to enjoy, and
Yeah.
I think everybody. It's like any movie, right? I think it comes down to you gotta appreciate what it brings to the table, but they're by no any means the best movies ever. The same thing
No.
comes back to Casablanca. Like all the old movies are like, oh, they're classics. They're classics. But you can't be like, I feel like there's better movies out there that you gotta, at a certain point, you gotta be like, no, Casablanca, you know what? It doesn't, like, there's so many movies out these days. And in the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years prior to Casablanca,
Yeah.
that have just done, like, that have built upon that and actually have been better. And
Yeah.
of course, not all movies are good. Like, there's a lot of crap
Yeah.
that you gotta sift through. But I'm just saying, my top 10, like, top 10 should constantly change. Like, there shouldn't always be that one movie that's at the top of, like Godfather and your Casablancas. Yes, they're good movies. They're classics. But there are better movies out there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. It's constantly growing. It's constantly getting better. And we've got better technology. And of course, something like, you look at Mando, people are what do people like about it? They like that there's a lot of live action. There's like actual special effects versus visual effects. There's still visual effects in the combination of both. But then, so people are praising that, but then at the same time, people are like, well, the puppet looked fake when it's running. Well, what do you expect? What do you want from it? Like,
I hate stuff
you
like
can't
that.
have both. You know?
We're definitely gonna go deep again into Mando.
We're definitely talking about that. But
Maybe
you
like
gotta
halfway
catch up.
through. Yeah, halfway through the season. They're still gonna do 10.
8. Last season was 8.
Oh, okay, so maybe after next week's. So the next episode we put out, we'll do the first 4 episodes of Mando.
Or we should just do these 3 and then 3 and then the last one.
I
Or
guess.
the last 2, sorry.
I don't know.
kinda-
That seems more complicated.
More
Why not?
content.
Yeah. Anyways,
see.
so that was Dr. No. Let us know what you think of Dr. No or the podcast in the comment section.
Let us
If you
know,
have
does Casablanca deserve to be in some of the
or
best
should
movies
we
ever?
cover Casablanca? Casablanca?
Ooh,
Casablanca.
maybe. I was very underwhelmed by it. So,
Fair enough.
or you know what, Citizen Kane? I've never seen it.
Yeah.
watch
That one's a
something I've never
long
seen.
one. That
Is
that
it?
one's pretty slow and anyways. But there's some interesting
Makes me
history.
want to watch it so much more.
Yeah, there's some interesting history surrounding the film. So yeah, we appreciate you listening, and we'll be back again soon with another episode.
Rosebud.
Rosebud.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at Lost Commentary, on Instagram at Raiders of the Lost Commentary, and like us on Facebook.
I'll be back.